Dr. Raymond Rob to the stage as our keynote speaker for today. And quickly to introduce him, Raymond Rob obtained his PhD degree from Michigan State University, School of Criminal Justice and joined the faculty at SIU Carbondale School of Justice and Public Safety in the fall of 2012. He's currently the Joint Associate Professor Fellow.
Dr. Rob came to the United States as a Fulbright Scholar from the Philippines. His research focus includes criminal victimization, youth violence, correctional administration, and qualitative research, particularly in cross-cultural settings. He studies correctional and judicial policies and practices in Southeast Asia, with special focus on the Philippines, and how these translate to prolonged pretrial detention, jail overcrowding, and violent extremism. Dr. Murad regularly visits the Philippines to conduct training and mentoring among correctional and court actors.
Please welcome Dr. Murad.
Good morning.
Give us 1 second, Dr. Murad.
Hello, good morning. This way?
1 second.
Good morning. All right. All right. Good morning. Everybody can hear me? Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. All right. Okay. Good morning to everyone. I'm very much honored to be invited as the keynote speaker for this year's gathering of Filipino Americans coming together. I'm very thankful to Matt and Jamie for inviting me also to share my research and my advocacy on the Philippine criminal justice system. I'd like to thank also Sean Bruno for showing me around, introducing me to key people who are the prime movers of these very youthful and exuberant organizations of Filipino Americans. And I'm very thankful for you guys coming here to listen to my presentation. Indeed, my story is a story of a Filipino who had experienced so much travails in the Philippine society. But it's also a story of a Filipino trying to make sense of his personal experiences and use it as a rallying cry to improve the criminal justice system in our country. And indeed, it is a story of a Filipino generating some knowledge and using that knowledge to prod people to action. And that is a very appropriate, because fortunately our topic today is knowledge is power, karunungan ay kapangyarihan. So let me start by sharing this story. And from there, later on, I hope I could tell you some of my own experiences in how I generated knowledge and use that for engaged scholarship and use that for moving people to action. So I'm Raymond Narad. I'm currently an associate professor at Southern Illinois University. As mentioned earlier, I am doing research in Southeast Asian criminal justice system with a special focus in the Philippines. I look at how prison systems are organized. I look at how courts are being moved, and also the practices of policing, not only in the Philippines, also in other Southeast Asian countries. Currently, I'm also a consultant for the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, and I am in charge of their portfolio in Southeast Asia. On the other side as well, I had been a consultant for the Philippine Department of Justice. And if many of you know the Philippine history at the moment, is from Cavite, and I've been helping the Justice Secretary look at the issues of corrections, crowding, and many others. And in fact, tonight, I'm traveling to Manila, where I will spearhead the first ever correctional summit, where the Philippine President, Bongbong Marcos, the Chief Justice, and many other pillars in the criminal justice system will be present. And so it's like my very first time that I'm going to present my research and advocacy to the prime movers in Philippine criminal justice system. But don't be overly impressed by those credentials. Because I am Raymond Narag, I was a former prisoner. Indeed, you heard it right. I was a detainee. I was a detainee in the Quezon City Jail for 6 years, 9 months, and 4 days. I was accused of a crime I did not commit. I was accused of murder, 2 counts of frustrated murder, and 3 counts of attempted murder, when I was a fresh graduate of the University of the Philippines. So here I was in 1995, accused of a gory crime I did not commit. And many people are asking, what brought you to prison? But more importantly, they ask me as well, what did you do inside the prison? And third, and I do believe the most important question was, what have you done about your prison experiences? So let me answer the very first question. What brought me to jail? What have I ever done to be entangled in the Philippine criminal justice system? Well, like many of you, years ago in my previous lifetime, I was very active in the student movement. I was an activist. I was part of the progressive student organizations. We questioned the status quo. But then I was also a member of a fraternity. And unfortunately, in the Philippines, fraternities are very tribalistic. They engage in rumbles, in hazings, and become violent. I was a peacemaker during that time, but it was because of my affiliation with the fraternity that it led to my entanglement. Why? On December 8, 1994, at my last semester at the UP College of National Public Administration and Governance, there was a rumble that happened in the UP Beach House canteen. A group of men were having lunch, and then they were suddenly attacked by another group of men with masks and coverings in their faces. They were armed with baseball bats, lead pipes, and they gang up on those men eating lunch. Many of them, the victims, scampered away, except for one. Many of your relatives back home in the Philippines may know the name of the victim, Dennis Venturina, December 8, 1994. The police came and investigated, and all the witnesses, we were not able to identify who the attackers were. Why? Because it happened so fast. We were running for our dear lives, and their masks were covered. Unfortunately, 2 days after, the victim died. And in the process, they went to the National Bureau of Investigation, which is the counterpart of the Philippines like the FBI, and then they changed their testimonies, saying that in the heat of the attack, they were parrying the blows, and while parrying the blows, the mask fell off. And it was then that they saw the face, Raymond Narag. It was on those false testimony that I was charged with murder, 2 counts of frustrated murder, and 3 counts of attempted murder. So to answer the first question, what brought me to detention, I was a victim of false accusation, of police malpractice, and also the inequities in the Philippine political system. I was barely 20 years old when that thing happened, and that was my picture. I was about to graduate cum laude from the UP, and of course, you know UP, it's like our premier state university. It's like the University of Illinois. It's like many other state universities here that are highly ranked. But instead of going to my graduation with the applause of my friends and relatives, I had to drag my sorry feet inside the Quezon City Jail. So this is the Quezon City Jail. I first entered May 24, 1995, fresh from the university. I have to stay in a cell designed for 5 people, but has to accommodate around 30 people. It was designed for 284 during a time. It has 700, and when I got released, it was already 3,500. Quezon City Jail is the most dangerous, overcrowded facility in the Philippines. So it was a shock to me. From a very bright, promising fellow, this is now the reality of my life. And in those cells, in the nights that I am in this overcrowded cell, where I have to sleep in the cold floor, I have to ponder, what can I do inside the facility? Then, that's where the knowledge is power began to enter my mind. So first what I do is that I look around and try to document as many things that I see inside this facility. I try to understand the common problems faced by my fellow inmates. I interview jail officers. I interview visitors. I ask what ails their family members that led their own members to jail. And this, I believe, is the beginning of my scholarship. So first, I came up with a functional literacy class program inside the facility. The beauty, I must say, of the Philippine justice system is they lack many personnel. And so what they do in the Philippines is that they identify detainees who have skills, talents, and knowledge to be part of the jail system. Later on, I call this shared governance in my research. And so I became part of the shared governance where I taught literacy, numerics, and many other basic learnings for elementary students inside the facility. Later on, this became the basis of the national government to introduce the alternative learning system in all detention facilities nationwide. And here, we try to engage as many fellow prisoners in order to open their minds, open their hearts, to be of service to their fellow inmates. And so here I am, together with my fellow teachers, who are all inmates, sharing their time and talent with fellow inmates so that they will be able to read and learn. In one touching moment, and I stayed already in jail for about 5 years, one of the graduates, Tatay Martin, sent to me an email saying, "Raymond, thank you for the time you spent teaching me when I was in the facility. Now I could teach my own grandson on how to read and write." And it was that learning that led me to straight path. Also, while I was inside the city jail, I became an active member of the paralegal system, where we would educate inmates on the rights of the accused. where we would educate inmates on the different ways of release and the different steps in the criminal justice system. Because without this information, it will be very hard for them to move their own cases. One day, one inmate told me, Kuya Raymond, can you explain to me my case? Why? What is your case? And he said to me, actual businessman. What? Actual businessman. What's actual businessman? Can you describe it to me? Well, I was charged with sexual harassment, trying to harass this neighbor of mine. Oh, your case is acts of lasciviousness. It's not actual businessman. See that? How will inmates be ever have the chance to defend themselves accurately if the nature of offense, in and of itself, is a thing that they do not understand? And so what I did was we developed this inmate paralegal system where we educate our fellow inmates on the nature of their offense and how they could utilize their own brain power in order to move their cases along. And because of that, our efforts was recognized by the city mayor of Quezon City. And here I was pictured, because I became the inmate mayor de mayores. Inmates then recognized my leadership skills. I was 24 years old. I was leading these different gangs, the Sputniks, the Commandos, the Pahala. Somebody was from Tondo Marina here. They would hear those street gangs being transferred to the prison gangs, and I heard them. I rubbed elbows with hardened criminals and represented them to our local leadership. Indeed, after staying in jail as a detainee, not yet convicted, for 6 years, 9 months, and 4 days, I was eventually found innocent. I was declared not guilty. Of course, all along I was innocent. I am innocent. And so the second question, what did I do inside the jail? I made use of my time productively. And then for the third question, what have you done about your jail experiences? Immediately upon release, for 7 years, I said it's now time to share what I've learned inside this Quezon City jail facility. So I wrote the very first book about a prison system in the Philippines. It is entitled Freedom and Death Inside the City Jail. Freedom, because I enumerated the different ways where we regain our freedom. Ways when we try to learn. Ways when we try to educate ourselves. Ways when we try to empower our own ranks so that the issues about jail management could be heard. So that's the freedom part. But I also documented the death inside the city jail. When inmates die because of overcrowding. 5 of my fellow inmates die every month simply because of lack of medicines. People die because of riots. Why? Because the jail has become very criminogenic, where they develop this culture of what we call burao, or corruption system, where the jail guards would utilize their power to generate income from my fellow inmates. And also how my fellow inmates have become degenerates, in fact. Why? Because they only need criminal careers as their only options. I've seen many of my inmates in jail who have returned 10 times, mabalik-balik sa kulungan, recidivists. Why? Because there are no options outside. Because the government had very little programs for rehabilitation. And so these sort of knowledge came very handily to me. And this book became now a textbook for jail and prison management readings in the Philippines. And this book became the basis of the Philippine Supreme Court to effect wide-ranging reforms in the Philippine criminal justice system. And because of this book, I became a consultant to the Chief Justice of the Philippine Supreme Court. And because of this book, I was awarded Outstanding Quezon City Citizen Award 3 years after I was released. So from a lowly inmate in the Quezon City Jail, I became the city's Citizen Award. Also, this book led me to immediately work for improving the criminal justice system. Upon my release, I inspired many computer programmers, telling them, hey guys, our jail system does not have any record-skipping mechanism. They don't automate. Papel, paper-based. And because I was able to inspire young graduates of computer science, they developed my ideas in the record system into a software. We called it Simplified Inmate Record System. And what it does is very simple. It computes your length of detention by looking at the date you're committed and the current date, right? And so you would know the length of detention an inmate had stayed inside the facility. And then you look at the minimum penalty and the maximum penalty. So if the minimum penalty is 2 years, and the inmate had stayed in detention already for 2 years and 1 day, the software obviously will notify you. It even says, please release me, let me go. And that tool now became the basis of the Bureau of Jail Management and Technology to introduce the National Inmate Monitoring System, and it has infected as well our courts and our police and our NBI to develop the same thing. And they call it now the Single Carpeta System. Where did it come from? From the knowledge of one lowly inmate. And then, because of my representations, I was very eager. I got released when I was 27. By the time I was 30 years old, I met even the cultural attaché of the Philippine American Educational Foundation. And they were in charge of the Fulbright. Who among you knows the Fulbright? Very good. The Fulbright, I should say, please try to apply over there, right? And go to the Philippines. On the other hand, I am the Filipino Fulbright coming to America. How did they know about my work? It is because I continue to present my advocacy and research in the justice system. And Robert Post, who was the cultural attaché, said, hey Raymond, if you're really interested in the justice system, you know, in America, we have a criminal justice program. We study these things. Why? Because in America, we have a lot of crime. Oh, really? Criminal justice in the Philippines is not an academic career. And I said, I looked, wow, there's a career indeed. And how could I apply? I didn't know that he was the executive director of the Philippine Fulbright. And I said, just go and apply here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was invited to be one of the 10 Fulbright scholars sent to America in 2025. From a lowly inmate released 3 years after, I am bound to America. And I told Robert Post, hey Robert, no, hindi pala pwede yan, no? Sir Robert, right? You know, you're Filipino, you have to say Sir Robert. Now I realize in America, you don't say Sir anymore, right? But Sir Robert, I might not be able to go to America because I have a murder case. And you know what he said? Well, in fact, it was that murder case. And it was how you dealt yourself in the jail system that we are offering you this scholarship to America. So indeed, I went to Michigan State University. Woo, Spartans! Any Spartans here? What? Wala! Oh, what a disappointment. Buti nga, may mga Hoosiers. Go Hoosiers! Yes! How about Southern Illinois University? Are there Southern Illinoisans here? Oh my God, I didn't realize it. And so I was in East Lansing, Michigan. Man, I never knew how cold East Lansing was, right? I'm from the Philippines, never been to America. I was just so excited, right? And when I was in East Lansing, and I became a graduate student, and I learned, whoa, oh my God, they have theories for crime. They have an understanding why people commit crime. And they have an understanding of what we call prisonization. Why certain groups of behaviors evolve and mutate inside the facilities. These are like, whoa, it's like a child in a cookie jar. And so I read and read, right? And I said to myself, oh, I'm going to observe all these things I'm going to learn in America and share it back home. This is the knowledge that we need in order to make our system work. But of course, round holes and square pegs. So the beauty things that I am able to mutate, the things that I learned to America and make it work in the Philippine justice system. Because of course, as you have seen, there are very much wide variations in the political, economic, social-cultural system in the Philippines and the United States. So you need to Philippinize. You need to make it more indigenous friendly. And so that was my area of research. How I could transform the Western knowledge, the Western literature, into a functional system, not only in the Philippines, but in Southeast Asia. And indeed, after freezing in Michigan for almost 7 years for my master's and PhD degree in criminology and criminal justice, I've been going back and forth to the Philippines. As I told you tonight, I'm going to travel to Manila because on December 6th and 7th, after my 20 years of engagement in the criminal justice system, pushing all these different people, they are finally coming together to hear my research. The Philippine President will be there. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will be there. The Senate President will be there. The Speaker of the House will be there. The Department of Justice Secretary will be there. And the Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary will be there. These are the people who are in charge of our justice system. And they are going to hear my research. The product of my engagement for the past 23 years. And hopefully something out will come. Something beautiful will come out. So here is the head of the Bureau of Jail. He was my warden when I was there in 1995 to 2002. He is now the chief of the PGMP. He used to guard me. He used to lecture me. And now, he is the one hearing all my lectures. He is now the one taking notes of what I learned. And mind you, all the wardens, all the jailers, who was once part of my life, have now become my partners in this advocacy. And so, here is the struggle. This is the path less struggle. I am Raymond Nara. I am now 49 years old. I was put in jail when I was 20. Do the math. I've been in this work for almost 29 years now. And I just am very thankful to my family, my wife, Sheila, who's here. Napakain naman siya. So my second daughter, Ingrid, right, she's a junior in high school, and I'm hoping that she will be a future island guide or whatever. And of course, my little girl, she's in fourth grade, and I'm hoping that she will be as proud as her others with the work that I am doing. I thank them because they sacrifice a lot while I pursue this work. I thank them while I'm out of the country and try to engage my efforts, and they, of course, left alone on their own devices. And I just hope they will understand why I am doing this. And so, for my final point, knowledge is power. How do we generate knowledge? In my experience, I generated knowledge by growing where I was planted. I never dreamt to become a prisoner, but it was the faith that was given me. But instead of lurking, instead of, oh my God, instead of complaining, I use that experience in order to open my mind and other people's minds. I realized when I was an inmate, what the term? I don't know, senior moments. Walang kapangyarihan, powerless, there you go. But when I tried to tell them about the rights of the accused, when I tried to tell them these are the processes to earn early release, they tried to organize themselves. They tried to mobilize. And I'm very proud. In my 7 years of stay in Quezon City Jail, we booted out 3 wardens who are very corrupt. But we also made our jail from a very violent city jail to one of the most peaceful. Because when people are empowered, when they understand the reason of violence, they try among themselves to overcome it. So that's my number 1 key area. Grow where you're planted, have an open mind, learn, and try to educate others. Karunungan ay kapangyarihan. This is a problem in the Philippine society at the moment. Many of our people suffer from the inequities of our criminal justice system. Many people suffer from the inequities of our political system. And probably I am like your parents. We left the Philippines to love. We left the Philippines we care deeply about. And we went here to America to have a big and a bright future for our children. And probably we went to America because we just want to forget the gory things that have happened in our lives over there. But mind you, you children of these migrant people, please remember the hearts of your parents. They really want to serve and come back. Now, having this knowledge, having these ideas, please utilize it properly. Use your American education in order to improve the life of this world. Use your American education and probably go back to the Philippines. You are an agricultural scientist, go back and learn and share the things that you learn in agriculture, in Philippine agriculture. You are a computer scientist, go back, share. No one will help an inmate but a fellow inmate. That's our mantra in the Quezon City Jail. And I would say, no one will help a Filipino except a true Filipino. Walang tutulong sa Filipino kundi ang kapwa Filipino. I've learned that. I've been in this advocacy business for more than 20 years. I talk with Americans who are in charge with the USAID. I talk with United Nations Office of Drugs and Crimes experts. Yes, they want to help the Philippines. Yes, they want to be of advice to the Philippines. Yes, they want to move the Philippine society in the right direction. But there's something missing in it. There's something incomplete experience what we had experienced. Why? Because they don't know how it is to be a Filipino. You guys have stayed here in America for a while, you grew up here, but you still look Filipino. You could leverage your Filipino identity in such wonderful ways. And so, probably I speak like a Filipino father. Hopefully, your parents did not force you to all study doctor or nursing or whatnot. Am I right? I've been asking Taiwan. My daughters and I have a lot of struggles on that. And so here's what I would say now. Follow your heart, follow your dreams. Forgive your parents if they evaluate you from the prism of a Filipino migrant. Forgive them for dreaming so big for you, because those dreams are extensions of theirs. And so I would tell you now, as a Filipino scholar, a Filipino migrant, use the knowledge that you may generate here in American academia and use it to transform the Philippine society. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your hearing my presentation, and good luck to your presentations and workshops for today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much to Dr. Rob. Dr. Rob is one of our facilitators, and we're super excited for you guys to all go to your workshops. But we do have some last-minute announcements to run through and speed run kind of quickly. First up, we'd like to invite our friends from MAFA to make some announcements.
Hi everyone, who's excited for FACT? So we are MAFA Board, and we're so excited to be up here speaking with y'all today. We're MAFA Board for the 2023-2024 school year. Thank you so much to BSA for giving us a little bit of your time. But first, we're going to do a little bit of introduction.
This is MAFA Board 2023-24. I love this board. My name is Nathan Puripan. I'm the Vice President External this year, and I'm proud to be from Indiana University.
Hi everyone, my name is Angela Falcone. I'm the President of MAFA Board, and I go to The Ohio State University.
Hey guys, I'm Iman Ferrer, and I'm the Secretary of Cultural Affairs. I'm from UW-Madison.
Hey guys, my name is Sophia Fernandez, and I am this year's Vice President Internal, and I'm also from PASO at UW-Madison. Hi, my name is Salani Gibson, and I am Co-Outreach Chair, and I go to Indiana University, Indianapolis. Recently had a name change, used to be IUPUI, but from FSA.
Hi guys, my name is Joseph. I also go to UW-Madison, and I'm fifth year Director of Media.
Everyone, I'm Andrew Louie, and I'm also a co-outreach chair this year. I'm proud to go to UW-Madison.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle Linez, and I'm Office Treasurer, and I'm from Ohio State.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miles. I'm Director of Marketing for MAFA, and I'm from Loyola University, Chicago.
And then we have one board member missing, Josh Alvarez. He's our events coordinator, and he also goes to The Ohio State University.
Okay, so I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with MAFA, but MAFA stands to promote unity and cooperation amongst all Filipino and Filipino Americans across the Midwest by presenting Filipino culture and Asian American awareness, coordinating meetings and events, and also supporting opportunities and objectives of all MAFA member schools. And we are very happy and we're really proud to be representatives for over 35 MAFA schools this year. So thank you so much. But we have plenty of announcements for a lot of our great stuff coming up.
All right, so introducing the intern program. This is a program dedicated to developing professional skills, building leadership, and making a direct impact on MAFA and being able to lead a regional board like this. And more than half of our interns, or half of our board, were interns at a previous time. So you could say it's a pretty relatively smooth transition from an intern to an upper board position, and it's fantastic. This position allows you to shadow the work alongside each board member over the course of the semester, from small tasks to projects that the interns host. And they actually hosted a workshop at MPAS last year. So if you went to the Chismosa one, that was all them. And the best part of being an intern is just the amazing people you get to work with. I love being part of my board, and they wouldn't be who they are without the intern program. So if you have been an intern, raise your hand. Let's see you out. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Yeah. So the intern program application closes tomorrow on Sunday at 11:59 CST or 12:59 EST. So make sure to apply for that before it's too late. And if you have any questions, definitely contact bpi.mafa@gmail.com, or you can DM our Instagram if you have any questions. So yeah, make sure to apply. I think there's the QR code. Oh, we did that. There it is. All right, yeah. Let me see those phones up. Let me see. Yup, that's what I like to see. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, introducing our newest program, also I guess like kind of my baby, is the Kababayan Ambassador Program. So this is honestly referred to as CAP, but it's a program intended for students enrolled at a college or university that does not officially have their own distinct Filipino organization that qualifies for membership with MAFA. This program provides a unique opportunity to students to join MAFA, have access to MAFA-related events, collaborate with universities in the Midwest, of course, and collaborate with those in the Filipino-American community. So, if you do have any friends or family that do go to a school or university that does not have an established Filipino organization, please scan this QR code and send this application to them. It's just intended for those that just don't have a Filipino organization, and they can have access to this amazing community. Our application does close January 8th, so there's a bit of time at 11:59 Eastern, 10:59 Central. So please apply and share this with as many people as you know.
So we have a little surprise for you guys. Can I get like a drum roll, please? Okay, introducing Tempaz.
You guys can register for MFest today, so get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun this year. We have a lot of amazing events planned for the rest of the year. But finally, guys are excited for AmFest, but finally, thank you again to PSA and all the faculty facilitators for giving us some time on stage. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Alright, and as
Alright, we just have a few more announcements. We're going to speed run.
Hello? Alright, quickly, we wanted to say that our fact booklet is now live. Please scan this QR code if you would like to see our sponsors and our letters and all the great information about our booklet.
Alright, our Avocado Collab is live. It's on the Avocado website, as well as our Instagram is in our link tree. Feel free to check it out.
Alright, we'd also like to remind you guys that the Palenque is happening today, featuring a lot of small businesses. It's happening from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the UIUC YMCA location. The address is right there. And if you want to see a full list of vendors, please check out our Instagram.
Alright, we have 3 fundraisers for you all. Happy Lemon, Mia Zaz, and Raising Canes. While you're on your lunch break, feel free to check those out.
Alright, and for any updates about facts and the general fact schedule, please consult our Instagram at PSA_fact.
Alright, and then for workshop locations, this is important. All your workshop locations, finalized ones, will be most up-to-date and accurate on our website, fact.psauiuc.org. But if you guys are having trouble finding your workshop locations, you can also
search for volunteers in FactPack for help with finding any locations or any other questions that you have. Volunteers will be wearing these high-vis vests, and FactPack will be wearing these lovely maroon crew necks.
Alright, thank you so much. Have great workshops and have a great bag.
Have an amazing day.